Hey guys, welcome to our discussions here. We are starting a new podcast where we talk about topics such as the Infinity War movie coming up. I'm joined by Frankie and Jake. Hope you
Yeah, how's it
enjoy.
going?
What's up, guys? What's up, guys? Okay,
Hello.
so
So,
personally, we have a very, very good topic today. We're talking about the Infinity War trailer and how we think the movie's going to be playing out. Okay?
and what deaths would occur and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'll kick off the topic by starting off with any big roles you think are going to be played by some minor characters. Anybody?
See, I think a minor character, in my opinion, that's gonna take a huge role is Gamora. She's, not considered too minor, but still, not having the entire spotlight.
I agree. I
Considering
agree.
is Thanos' daughter, so I think she's
Yeah,
gonna have a critical point in the movie.
I do agree because
I-
it'll be weird to see Thanos react to his daughter. Will he be ruthless? Will he have a heart towards that? You know, it's a lot of cool things to see. Will she play a big role with the Avengers? How will she
Yeah,
interact?
of course.
I mean, personally, for me, my favorite character that's going to be a minor character, as we do know he has his own style in movie, and I wouldn't consider him a minor character. But as of right now, he's not an Avenger, so I will consider him a minor character. Black Panther and how Wakanda will fit into the movie.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
a
I
good
agree.
point.
I agree. I agree. You know what? I even think that Black Widow is going to be playing a really big role in the new Infinity
In the
War.
Wakandan War, yeah. Of course.
Yeah, I think so. She's going to have a lot of power over Hulk, and you don't know where it's going to end up with him because he's just a loose cannon.
Yeah,
Of
that's
course.
true.
And speaking of that point, actually, um, I don't like how they don't have Betty in the movie. You know how
Oh,
they
yeah.
replaced
Oh, yeah.
Betty with
Oh, yeah.
Black Widow. That
Oh.
completely is right off the comic books. Like just not even in it.
Don't get started on the Betty stuff. We all know we like Mark Ruffalo. I know you don't like the no
Oh,
Betty thing,
shut up, Jake.
Okay,
Shut up,
okay, let's get back on topic, boys. Let's get back on topic. We got to think of
Alright.
these side characters. Ant-Man, big role, but I think the biggest role is going to probably be Doctor Strange, just because of the Time Stone.
See,
I agree with that too.
I don't even think Ant-Man's gonna be a huge role. Because think
No,
about
I
it.
think he should be
haven't
an
seen-
average character.
We haven't seen him at all, right? In the trailer, he's in the cast, but we haven't seen him at all in the trailer. We didn't see any points where he was fighting anyone, any points where he was even in the war. We didn't see him at all. Maybe I wasn't looking hard enough because he was really small or whatnot, but I didn't see him at all.
I agree.
That's
Also-
a possibility.
Even Captain America isn't playing a big role because apparently he has like one of the stones within him, right? So
Within, I didn't hear about this.
I don't
within
know,
him.
it's a lot of
Wait,
things,
this-
but Nick, me and you were talking to a couple of days ago about Doctor Strange and the impacts he was gonna play in the movie. Do you think Thanos will be able to take the stone easy from him, or how do you think?
See, we see in the trailer actually that they are not Thanos. His sons. I forgot what the group was called, but he was fighting Doctor Strange, and we'd see he had powers similar to Doctor Strange and similar to that of when we saw in the movie with Dormammu and his servants. They had kind of the similar power type of magical, psychic type of field area, that type of thing. And I think it's not going to be Thanos fighting Doctor Strange. In fact, I think it's going to be that specific sorcerer that's going to be fighting Doctor Strange or whatever he is. I don't even know what he is.
That you know what, you're probably right on that aspect. But I personally, since Doctor Strange is one of my favorite characters, I hope he goes out with some pride intact. I mean,
Because we know for a fact he's getting the Time Stone regardless. Because we know he's getting all of the Infinity Stones if we go according to the comic books. He gets all the Infinity Stones regardless.
sadly enough, we can't always go from the comic books. So
No, the movie's gonna be really off guard
It's gonna
with
be based off.
movies.
See, that's the thing that I like that Marvel is doing right now. They're keeping us in the dark to see if we're actually going to get Thanos from the comic books or not? They're keeping it very, very subtle.
Well, we have a lot of Thanoses we can look into. If you go to the comic books, like the New Age ones, Thanos seems
Well, of course.
compassionate.
No, but I'm talking about the original storyline here where Thanos actually won and erased everything.
See, yeah, I feel that would be a twist, but since not nobody, but a lot of people are not as in tune with comic books as a lot of people are. I feel that
Well, when it comes to the MCU, I would disagree because just looking at the sheer amount of people that go to Comic-Con, so
yeah, that is true. That is true. Don't get me wrong. I'm a person that goes to Comic Con as well, but I feel that to fit the mainstream type thing, they're not going to go with the Thanos wiping out everybody because I feel like since every movie's been about the hero wins, I don't think they're going to end it off with the hero loses. I feel like they're
I
just going
agree.
to
I feel like they're going to go the animated series route where they try to take him one-on-one with each stone and whatnot.
Yeah,
so that's the way they're going to do it. If he even gets all this, they don't even. What if he doesn't even get the stones entirely? What if they defeat him before that, which is also a possibility?
I don't know. I feel like the fan base would be a little bit upset with not having a complete Thanos. It's kind of like not having the complete villain. It's like if Ultron never got.
But at the same time, that would be very difficult to deal with, right? Because having all the Infinity Stones is going to be very troublesome, and I don't know how the hell they can even win from that.
Well, I mean, they're the Avengers, Earth's mightiest heroes. So
we see in the animated series how they win because again they're not serious, they're childlike, they're not completely serious. In the movie, however, the cinematic universe, they're very serious characters. They don't joke around. Besides Spider-Man, of course, they don't joke around, and they certainly don't try to play mind tricks at all. That we can see from when they went in Age of Ultron, when they were executing that mission in the woods, where they didn't play around at all, and they were getting stuff done 100%. So I feel like wouldn't try to play mind tricks with Thanos. I feel like that's just not going to happen, just because the whole atmosphere of the cinematic universe is very serious compared to anything we've seen.
That is true. I do agree with that. Personally, out of everything of all the ways that these two movies could go down, I personally want to see it go down the cartoon kind of route because I do want to. I'm going to be honest. I know it sounds cliche, but I want to see my hero win. I want to see that with some falls, but I want to see my hero win at the end of the day. I'm fine if a hero does fall in the line of battle, as long as it's done well, and we do see payback at the end.
You know what, Jake? That's actually a good point. But dude, I gotta explain something. If you see how they win in the cartoon, that's gonna give away the answer for everything else in the movie, isn't it?
True. If they do go down that route, the exact route, that would kind of be of everybody knows what happens.
It just gives away the answer to everything. So it's like pretty much like putting like peanut butter and jelly without the bread. You know what I mean?
That's a good point.
To that, even though I did not agree with any of things that you just said, I do not understand any of it.
It doesn't have to make sense, bro. It doesn't have to make sense. Just keep
I'm
going.
more of a Turkish club guy.
But no, of course. Yeah, I think if that happens, then everyone will instantly see the ending and know the ending. But at the same time, we have seen the cinematic universe try to not make it seem obvious as towards the ending. For example, Iron Man 3 with what's his name again, Jake?
To be honest, the Mandarin.
The Mandarin, Mandarin. We expected the Mandarin to be what he is, but he's completely.
He turned out to be a fake.
He's just a midget.
Fake. Turned out to be like a show that with no host.
Now that would be an example of what not to do, and I hope Marvel doesn't do that because that would honestly shatter me.
Honestly, I wouldn't see Avengers going through that type of a route. You know what I mean? I couldn't see it. This movie is like really huge in the sense that it has so many superheroes all in one movie.
Yeah,
and you know what? It doesn't seem like it would be going through that route. If it would, then I'm pretty sure everybody would try to get their money back for that movie because there's no way.
But it is a possibility. We can't rule it out completely until we see it.
We have to evaluate every single scenario and decide. But
every single aspect of
I like the hero win story, but let's kind of divert from this because we can't really know until the actual movie comes out. We can just have our hopes for which one we like.
Yeah, that's true.
I think the next question we should be asking each other is which character, which of the originals, our heroes, is going to be the one to perish? Which one? Because we've seen all of our characters in peril in the trailers. We've seen Thor getting his head crushed, Iron Man in his feet, and Captain America getting toyed with, which some people are saying that he's actually pushing him back, but we all know Thanos is as strong as the Incredible Hulk, and that is no way.
You know what?
Some could even say he's, on the physical level, stronger than the Hulk, because we've seen in many instances in the comics where he actually incapacitated Hulk by punching him.
Yeah.
True.
That's true. True.
So, who do you guys think is the one to kick the bucket?
Honestly,
I think it's going to be multiple people.
Yeah, I agree. But honestly, for my first choice, when I heard that one of the Avengers or a few of the Avengers were getting kicked out of the cast and everything like that, I just thought Chris Evans right away because he doesn't want to do the Avengers anymore, right? He doesn't want to play as Captain America anymore.
His contract is ending.
Yes, exactly. So, you know what? I'm pretty sure that Chris Evans is going to be a huge part of him dying. So I'm at the same time saying I'm not excited, but at the same time saying I am excited. You know what I mean?
I agree. I completely agree. I'd like to see how he dies, if it's an emotional scene or not.
Yeah,
but in my opinion, I think other than Vision, who we know from the Infinity, he has an Infinity Stone, which is what powers him.
Yeah, right? Infinity Stone. Yeah.
He's obviously going to kick the bucket. That's a given.
Yeah.
He could.
I think Thor. Thor is the one that's most likely because, again, like you said with Chris Evans, Thor's contract is also ending, and this is his last movie, unless I don't know, some miracle happens and he signs another contract. This could be an ending where they all separate ways, or this could be an ending where Thor dies and so does Captain America. Because if we see the trailer again, when we see them fighting off Thanos in another planet, Iron Man, Spider-Man, and all of them, we do not actually see Thor. We don't see Thor. We see the Avengers talk to the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, that's true. That's
true. See Thor, even though Thor was with the Guardians of the Galaxy. If Thor is with the Guardians of the Galaxy and the Guardians of the Galaxy are with the Avengers, then why isn't Thor with the Guardians of the Galaxy or the Avengers? It could be a possible shadow to his death, or it could be where he's somewhere else. Who knows? Maybe in Asgard? I don't know. It'll be to find out.
Personally, I would like to see Thor die because I feel it would be an emotional death seeing the god
the
of
honorable death,
an honorable warrior death. And considering he just got the weapon, well, not just got, but he will obtain the new weapon.
The new Mjolnir type weapon, yeah.
Yes, I'm unaware of the name of this weapon, but it is half axe.
I am also aware, but I know it's stronger than Mjolnir.
Well, of course, it does have an axe on one side of it.
More
so I feel that Thor would have a good death to it, but the one death that would be the best is Captain America and Iron Man patching the relationship up. From the Civil War movie where we ended off with them.
Yeah, that was a bad start. You know what I mean, to everything.
Yeah. But they are fighting in completely different battlefields, so I guess we have to wait for part 2 to find out that part, I guess.
Yeah. I feel that if Captain America died like a soldier and Iron Man tried to avenge him, I feel that would be a cool death. Even vice versa. But I feel since Iron Man did lose the battle in the Civil War movie, that maybe Captain America will be the one that needs the help.
It would be more impact.
I would say so. I agree with that. I would say so.
Yeah, I feel
it seems like it'll be the opposite.
I don't know. We have so many side characters that could possibly kick the bucket. Like, I see all the time people, building up Hawkeye, but let's be honest, he's an archer. Thanos.
He's an archer.
Yeah, he is. He is. He's not like Green. He's not like Green Arrow. You know what I mean? So it's different.
Nothing like Green Arrow. No, he's just the character that the fan base makes fun of. So
you know what?
Black Widow. We did say that she may play a big role, but when it comes down to it, in the big fight between Thanos, what is she really gonna do?
No, you know what?
See, they're bringing the big guns actually.
In this sense that she does play a big role to control Hulk, but also at the same time saying it when everything's like behind closed doors, she can't really do anything because when Hulk's not there, she's gonna be very vulnerable and she might just perish or something.
I don't know. I feel like it would be a meaningless death for her to perish. It would be cool to see Hulk rage over the fact of her death, but I want to see Bruce get a win this time. Which I feel like characters like Spider-Man will play an okay role, but not too big because we know.
No, I disagree with you on that one. I think Spider-Man's going to have a huge role considering he goes and fights with Thanos on the other planet, meaning he's part of the big guns. And also, we get to see his new Iron Spider-Man suit, which is going to be huge. And just the overall fact, he actually fights Thanos, and we see him get crushed by Thanos, like a spider would get crushed from a basement.
But this is what's it called? This is Spider-Man's second war with anyone, right? The first one was. Second battle, I would say. Second battle. So do you really think that Spider-Man would probably be having a big role? Maybe he will have a big impact, as in the sense that people will be looking up towards him as an interest of the superhero. But I wouldn't say that he would lay a big hit in the movie series because he's really fresh. You know what I mean? They have like Captain America, Thor. They've fought so many battles. Now it kind of seems like they will be the ones to take care of the Avengers. You know what I mean?
They're passing on the torch to the new Avenger, which is Spider-Man. So
I even say the exact same thing with Ant-Man. Ant-Man, he's gonna do some damage, I guess, but he's same time saying it, he is just as much as new to Spider-Man. You know what I
mean? I want to know about the Ant-Man situation and where Hank Pym is going to play a role. I want to know if he's just going to say a couple words or if he's going to help out the team with, mapping out the area, using the technology in Wakanda or whatnot. I want to know what his role is going to be because then again, the entire cast is very massive, and the people they have is a lot of people.
Right.
Yeah, right. That is true. To talk about what Frankie just said, just to clarify for anybody who didn't really get it, I do agree with them because I feel like we know that Spider-Man is going to play a good impact, like Frankie just said, but not too much of an impact that he might have the chance of being perished or like Ant-Man in the first sense, because we do know that they're going to be having a movie afterwards. So we do know.
Can we say die instead of perished?
Okay, we're gonna say die.
We may proceed with that word. Proceed, soldier.
Well, anyway, yeah, Spider-Man dying is like a 0% chance of happening. It's just not gonna happen.
I couldn't even see it happen, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's just not.
I can't even see it happen.
Yeah, even if it wasn't a fresh of a character, I don't think it would happen either. But even if he had like 4 movies, I don't think it would have happened.
Yeah, you know what, guys? I have another question. Who do you think that the Guardians of the Galaxy? What do you think about them? That's a group that's being like kind of let out of the Avengers. You know what I mean? Because when you first see the movie,
they've had such little time on the
trailer. I know. You know what I mean? I'm thinking that when you just hear Infinity, you just think of Avengers. You want to think of the Guardians of the Galaxy. But then you have to say, oh yeah, there is Guardians of the Galaxy there.
Yeah, that's the thing. Everyone always says, oh yeah, I forgot the Guardians are in the movie. And honestly. Exactly. That's a funny point you bring because the Guardians of the Galaxy play one of the biggest roles considering one of their members is the daughter of Thanos. Exactly. And another member wants to kill Thanos for murdering his family.
Yeah.
And the other wants to say, I am Groot because his entire race was wiped out.
Demolished, yeah. It was demolished, yeah. But what do you think about Gamora? I'm pretty sure that someone from the Guardians of the Galaxy may or may not die, and I'm facing it towards Gamora, if anything, because I'm pretty sure that Thanos may just not take it anymore. You just get fed up.
See, I disagree with that. I feel like the Guardian that will die is most likely Drax, considering he has literally no filter in what he does and says. And if he sees Thanos, like he did with Rowan, he will charge head first and try to kill him, knowing he has the Infinity Stones and the Infinity Gauntlet. I feel like he will rush straight into that and pretty much get himself killed.
That is
Practically erased. I think that would be the great entrance point to show Thanos' power, and be like, "I'm not messing around. I will erase you." And I think that's what he's gonna do by showing everyone that, here, you see Drax. I'm not playing around. I'm going to erase him.
Well, okay, we do know that Groot is not going to die, because it would be an overused death if Groot.
Yeah, because he already practically almost died, and he's a teenager at this point, right?
Rocket's not going to die either. He's just not going to die either.
Rocket and Groot come in a package. I don't think one of them will.
Yeah. If it's either if one of them died, they're both going to die. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like a Batman and Robin type thing.
Like one can't function without the other.
Yeah, pretty much.
They're like the dynamic duo of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's just not gonna. One can't go without the other. Like, they couldn't even last one movie without bringing them back.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh yeah.
Because he's a fan favorite. A fan favorite.
I mean, my personal fan favorite of the Guardians of the Galaxy.
I think out of all the merchandise of Guardians of the Galaxy, I think that Groot doll was the most sold.
You know what? I was even surprised when I first heard of the group that Vin Diesel was playing as Groot.
I was completely surprised. I had no idea that was Vin Diesel.
I laughed so hard that I defecated myself.
Wow. all I know, boys, is that just to see a nice joke, just to have a nice joke, I would like to see Groot say "Ride or Die" to Thanos.
That'd be funny.
That'd be great. That'd be great. A homage to the Fast and Furious series.
I think I'll be clapping during that time. You know what I mean?
No, of course. Yeah, I'd be clapping my hands. Like a seal does at a circus show.
Yeah. I think a little teardrop will come out of my eye too. I'm just saying, like, wow, so beautiful.
Now all we need is Groot to make a charger out of his wood.
His wood. Yeah. But anyway, now we do see the upcoming movie, The Wasp and Ant-Man. So I don't know too much about the movies after the Infinity War, but I don't know if they're connected. I don't know if the events that happen in those movies are after Infinity War. Like, I'm not completely up to with all those information. But let's say the events of Infinity War take place, and then the movie of Ant-Man and Wasp take place. I want to know if, like, what's going to happen with that. Are they going to be like, okay, you're an official Avenger? Are they going to be like, okay, Wasp, are they going to join with Wasp as well? Or is he going to set a condition, I'm only going to be an Avenger if Wasp is an Avenger? Like, I want to know what that sort of situation
I see where you're going for that. I mean, personally, I feel that Pym won't let him become an Avenger, just because even in the Ant-Man standalone movie, he doesn't want Tony Stark near his tech. So I feel like
that is a Avenger. Completely
fact.
Yeah, if he joins the Avengers, I feel like Tony would try to poke around at his suit, which is not something that Hank Pym really wants.
That's true.
I don't think he'll become an Avenger, but I would like,
or hopefully not yet,
Not yet,
yeah. He's a staple in the Avengers. I mean, we do see in the comics and in the animated series the conflict that Tony Stark and Hank Pym have, even though in the movie they completely changed it and they made it Scott being the Ant-Man and not Hank Pym. Which I honestly I don't care for that change. It's not too big in my opinion. It's not too much of a change that would enrage the community. I enjoyed that. But we see that they have huge conflicts.
Right. My sister, she's playing.
Okay. So, out of everything that we've seen, everything that we've done, Personally, I think the funniest thing that we're going to see is Hawkeye try to give another pep talk like he did to Wanda Maximoff, saying that once you walk through the door, you become an Avenger. You think you'll be saying that to Groot or something, or some funny character that would tell him off and be like, "Why are you telling me this?"
See, I just want to see the reaction of the Avengers or anyone in the Avengers try to, talk to Groot or see Rocket and Groot talking and seeing that the only thing that comes out of his mouth is "I am Groot." And
yeah, you know what? That's a very interesting language.
I want to see how the hell Rocket even knows that language and how he can even communicate with Groot.
Honestly, I don't even feel. I feel Rocket doesn't even know the language. I feel Rocket is just putting words.
He's just putting two and two together. I think he's just putting two and two together.
No, but it's too weird. He responds so accurately every time. I feel like that he actually knows the language. I don't know. I feel like he does. I don't know.
You think that if Rocket got enhanced, able to speak and everything like that, you think he'd probably develop some other language barrier or something like that?
Probably,
probably some new abilities or something to talk to trees or something.
I mean, it's not like languages are freaking fully connected in the Marvel universe. How is that every single planet speaks English? I don't get that.
That's the universal language, Jake.
Yeah, it is a universal language.
In the comic books, they explain it as that. It's the universal language.
Okay.
There's different languages, but there's the universal one that is English.
That is true. I mean, that is just for plot reasons. But yeah, I can understand it.
Yeah.
I also really hope that at some point in the near future, Fox lets go of the X-Men and Marvel Cinematic Universe can have the X-Men so that we can have the X-Men and the Cinematic Universe actually talk and all that and intertwine instead of it just being references in the Deadpool movie.
Yeah, but that's a whole other discussion. To be honest, we got to stick on this. We got to stick on the Infinity War discussion.
I mean, I can go on for that current discussion for a little bit.
I just wanted to see the input a little bit.
Yeah, I understand exactly what you're talking about. I come from the same place you are, but I feel we should stick on this the Infinity War trailer just so we can address all the things we need to address before this fun podcast ends. And I don't know. I think the next thing that we should be talking about is the Infinity Stones and who and what type of character will be affected by each stone. Because we do know the Time Stone is going to be affected. Being taken away from Doctor Strange, the Time Stone is going to affect him not having it, and how will he be able to?
Agreed. That's going to be a big impact. That's going to be a big impact.
Vision. We do see in the comic books he doesn't die from losing the stone, but he does significantly lose a lot of power. So will he die? Will he will he stay alive but lose power? Like who do you feel is going to be affected massively by not having their stone?
I think Doctor Strange would be the big one.
The question we have to ask instead is not only because we know he's going to get the Infinity Stones, but how on earth is he going to get the Soul Stone? We have no clue where it is. We have no idea how he got it, who has it. It wasn't even in Thor Ragnarok where we suspected because, it was Hela, souls, everything connected, and yet it still wasn't even there. I want it because we see in the trailer he has an orange stone. And in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the orange stone is the Soul Stone. So I want to know how the hell he gets it, and that's going to be a huge impact knowing how he gets it.
See, I don't remember the name of the guard who guards Asgard or who used to guard Asgard, but I think his name is Hyman or something. But I swear he has the stone. You can see in his eyes he has a purple.
It's nowhere stated. It's nowhere stated he has the stone at all.
My bad, orange. But I don't know. If I would have to point it at anything, I'd have to point it at him. I feel he would have it because he can see every soul in the universe.
I mean, that's pretty scary. That could just be the mystic part of everything, right? Because the Asgard is just that way. They have magic. They have the Mjolnir, for example, the curse that was on it. Those who are worthy can lift it, and obviously those who can lift it, like Hulk, are an exception. But, however, there is that mystic part of it. part of it. So I feel like he is just a person with an ability like that. It's not the fact that he has. I don't think the Soul Stone can grant the ability to see every single soul in the universe. I think it has like to do with resurrection and all that stuff, and we haven't seen him able to resurrect anything whatsoever.
That is true. He would have brought back Asgard from the dead if he could.
100%. Yeah, he would have brought back Odin.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And even then, Odin probably would have told Thor that the Soul Stone exists with him, but even Thor doesn't know, and that's one of his close allies.
Yeah, agreed.
Even then, Loki would probably know, because Loki, again, snoops around and everything, is the god of mischief. I feel like, because we see him giving the Tesseract to Thanos. I assume it's to Thanos, even though we don't directly see it, because Thanos gets the Tesseract. But I feel like Loki would 100% know if he had the Soul Stone or not, just because he's that type of person to figure it out.
Yeah, you know what? He'll just figure it out by, give it 15 minutes, you know what I mean? Just the way how he talks or something like that, or the way he just finds places or finds stuff. Just,
give him a lot of
mischief.
Give him a lot of credit to the God of Mischief. I don't know. I feel like Loki is a good villain. He's pretty smart in his ways, but I feel like he would not figure it out as fast as you say he would. I think it would have taken him all the way until Infinity War to figure it out, if that was the case.
But we see in the trailer that he gives the Tesseract. He doesn't give the Tesseract and the Soul Stone. So it's safe to assume he doesn't actually have the Soul Stone, neither does he know where it is. So I feel like he doesn't know entirely where it is, and I feel like no one in Asgard knows where it is. Because then again, everyone that was in Asgard that's in that ship, we don't actually see... wait, hold on a minute. We see Thor floating in space, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's safe to assume something happened to that ship. I completely forgot about that. Something probably happened to that ship. They got into a fight where the ship might have exploded. Something must have happened that caused Thor and everyone else floating in space.
Yeah, that is a big thing. Now, I'm going to just say something a little bit side. I know it's not as serious, but who wants to see Korg again? Who wants to see Korg?
I would love to see Korg. Personally, that's one of the funniest characters I've ever seen in the cinematic universe. The fact that he's this...
Yeah, I know.
They even said his original voice is supposed to be this big, brawlic, deep voice, and then the voice actor just went on and said, "Hey, and that was it. It was just from that line, he just went on with that voice, and he became one of the funniest characters in the MCU.
Oh yeah.
I think I would argue he is the funniest character in the MCU, actually.
Yeah, that is true. I would like to see Korg talk to Hulk. They're talk to Hulk some more. Maybe have that little interaction. I don't know.
I just want to see him introduce himself to the Avengers, but obviously that's not going to happen because we don't see anyone from that ship come with Thor. We don't even see Thor, period, on any of the planets besides space and where the Guardians found him. So right now, I think that's one of the biggest mysteries to this upcoming film yet. Where is Thor? We know he's getting his new weapon. But we know he's getting his new weapon, but we don't see him go anywhere with that weapon. I don't know if that's to hide how the weapon looks, whatever it is. We just don't see him at all fighting Thanos or fighting in the war. We don't see him at all.
I don't know. I feel that they're trying to hide Thor because of how he looks, his weapon, and everything. I feel that's a big factor in what they're trying to do. They're kind of showing every Avenger. Like, they showed the Captain America suit. They showed all the suits, their weapons. They've showed Iron Man's new repulsors. They've shown Captain America's new, technically, shields, which I disagree. I feel they're gauntlets, but we'll move on from that. I feel Thor's the only one that his weapon hasn't been shown since his weapon is such a big...
been shown at all. He's been shown in 2 scenes, and we haven't seen literally anything after that.
But I still feel that weapon is going to have a big reveal, even though we do know, since certain toy companies and other things have shown that hammer, so to speak. So I feel they're trying to make it a big reveal without actually showing us too much.
I agree, but at the same time, I want to know, because the biggest points of this movie are obviously the fight between Thor and the Avengers, and then the fight that goes on in Wakanda. But at the same time, it's just I'm way too curious about the actual fight where Thor is in, because we don't see him fight anyone. We just see him floating in space, gets found, and then gets a new weapon. I just want to know what role he plays and when he comes into that play.
Yeah, that is true.
They might be saving him for part 2, which is probably most likely the case. They're saving him for part 2. You know, the God of Thunder, the biggest gun they have besides Hulk to fight Thanos.
Yeah,
because we know Hulk's not fighting Thanos. Hulk is fighting the war in Wakanda.
He was fighting the war. Yeah.
I don't know.
Actually, no, I lied. We do see him fight Thanos. His head was getting crushed. I completely forgot about that.
But he was a part of the Wakanda too.
That was mentioned. But
I completely forgot about that. I apologize.
Speaking of Wakanda, see, we ended off in the Black Panther movie after Civil War. We ended off with Wakanda being in a sense of rebuilding / fixed. And I want to see how the Wakandan soldiers are going to join together, because we did see the M'Baku, the king of the monkeys, joining in with the Wakanda soldiers. Defending in the trailers, and I want to see how it's going to work. I want to see how. I
feel like they're gonna finally achieve the peace that they wanted, and I feel like they're going to work together. Since he did save T'Challa's life, he did save his life, so I feel they're gonna work something out. And for the first time in centuries, they're gonna have them join in Wakanda and not live in the mountains.
Personally, I love M'Baku as a character. M'Baku as a character shows strength, shows comedy. He is a good character because we all thought that it was going to be the M'Baku as the main villain when the movie was first announced from the comic books. It was nice to see how they turned M'Baku, and I would like to see how they take his warriors and how they work with T'Challa's warriors to fight Thanos. Will they fight as one? Will they not? Because it is an.
I think I'm pretty sure that Thanos has his own type of army also, right? Because there's a war going on, and there's a separate war going on with Thanos, right, of himself. But Thanos has his own army, and Wakanda has their own army also, and they're fighting in the battle between. So I don't think the Wakanda soldiers are gonna get into Thanos. I think they're just there to open a gate or something like that away.
Like open a path towards Thanos.
Yes.
Another question I want to ask is we see Thanos's children. His I forgot what the group was called. But we do see that there's 5 of them, right? We see there's a female. There's a mystic person that fights Doctor Strange. But I want to know what happens to them, because we see them once and then they're not mentioned again. They're not we don't see them in the war in Wakanda, and we don't see them fight alongside Thanos. So I want to know what their actual methods are, and do they get defeated? Do they die? Like I want to know if that's going to be a major part of the movie or not.
Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's all conspiracy. You know what I mean? It's all just based on imagination and what do you think type of thing.
Yeah,
I agree.
I think so. You know what? Actually, I have to bring out one point. Chris Evans, he was walking and he was in a dark room, and someone threw a spear at him, like at his head, and he caught it, like right there. And it showed an image. It showed an image of someone with a hoodie and just coming towards Chris Evans, Captain America. So I was really curious, like who that was, who threw the spear, because I know
I want to see that as well.
I know there's a villain that throws a spear just like that, and he has a certain type of look just by the image of it, but I forgot the name of it, and it's like a villain that's like not really known. To be honest,
I think you're thinking of Lady Death. Yeah, I think you're thinking of Lady
Death there.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Lady Death has that sort of mannerism. Since we did see Hela pass away, will Lady Death take that sort of spot or something? I personally don't know. I would like to see Lady Death and see how Thanos interacts, because we all know the love between Thanos and Lady Death and how he's been
Lady
trying
Death. Yeah.
since he's been trying
Maybe
since he was
that's
a
how he
boy.
gets the Soul Stone, actually, through Lady Death.
Possibly, because
You know.
Thanos has been trying to gain her love since he was a child, and that's
This
what
is
led
the
him to
this is
murder
the entire purpose of this entire storyline, because he wants Lady Death and her affection.
Yeah.
Exactly. And
Right.
she's the reason why he's gone on this murderous path. Since we've seen in the origin story of Thanos, she's kind of led him down this road of murder and destruction, and kind of acted as if that was enforced it with encouragement, and told him that he's weak,
Yeah.
not being a murderous person.
You know what? I think that Lady Death. I think that she's the type of person who just like, who knows that the person, her partner, is very capable of destroying so many things. But the thing is that maybe he didn't want to experience it. Maybe he didn't want to go through the plan. But she has her own type of like crazy mind that just wants to destroy everything, because she knows that she can't do it by herself. So she needs Thanos to do that.
She's inflicting her will on Thanos, which
Exactly.
As a child, you're very susceptible. So, and considering he had no love,
Yeah.
it was very easy for her to manipulate.
Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah.
So it was. I want to see that. Maybe not too much of it, just enough so we can have that, nod, tease, that sort of, that little bit of geek, that little bit of
Right.
we get, that nice little bit.
Yeah.
I don't want too much on it. I just want to see that little bit. That
You just want to see a little bit explained. That's it.
Yeah, it's just the tiniest bit. But the one thing that I'm most scared about, if you want to say scared, it's Steve Rogers, Captain America, is my favorite hero out of all of them. I want to see how he's going to react to being toyed with by Thanos, and considering that he's trying with all of his might to hold back his gauntlet, and considering Thanos is using not even 1% of his power, and he's only using one hand, I would like to see how Steve is going to get out of that scenario.
Oh, I remember now. Sorry to interrupt you there, but I remember now. It's called the Black Order. Those are the people that are fighting for Thanos, and we see. I remember his name now. His name was Ebony Maw, who was fighting Doctor Strange. Side note there. Sorry for the interruption. It's just before I forget, I'll mention it.
This is an open area, man. It's all good. It's all good. But back to what I was saying. How do you guys feel Steve is going to get out of that scenario, and do you feel that he's going to get out unscathed?
Honestly, I
Absolutely
think that
not.
I think that he's not gonna get out of the situation. I think he's gonna be kind of in a pickle, in the sense that he just doesn't know what to do. All he knows what to do is self-defense and just hold back what Thanos has to do. But I think that's something that might interrupt during the time that them two are engaged together. I think something can be interrupted by something or somehow.
Like maybe like a Hulk interruption, or like
something to get as Thanos' attraction focused on something else bigger than Chris Evans' Captain America, right?
See, it's good that you mentioned that, actually, because I remember talking about how there's a separate war going on between the Wakanda and with Thanos.
That's what I'm trying to go for.
We see Captain America fighting in Wakanda.
Yeah.
Yet he fights Thanos as well. I want to know, does that mean they won in Wakanda? Does that mean the war that was going on in Wakanda?
That's a good question. I don't know. Like I was saying before, Wakanda and what was that? The other army again, Nick?
The Black Order. It's not. It's just a
Black Order.
like a group of mercenaries or whatever that work.
So yeah, I'm pretty sure them two, the Black Order and Wakanda, they're gonna be, like I said, Wakanda's gonna be opening a gateway, a pathway for Captain America, Iron Man, Hulk, all the superheroes pretty much to get a good hit at Thanos. And I'm pretty sure that it's gonna be intertwined. But then Wakanda, when they're all give all the pathways done, they're going to do back to their old original plan. They're going to fight off just how they were before, but something may or not interrupt, like I was saying before, right? Something may interrupt Captain America and Thanos.
My guess as to the Black Order is that I think they're there to do Thanos' work that he doesn't want to do, which is retrieve the Infinity Stones. Because we do see him fight. The only people we see the Black Order fight are people with the Infinity Stone. We see Doctor Strange fighting Ebony Maw for the Time Stone is what I'm guessing that he's trying to retrieve. And then we see Loki with the Black Order with the Tesseract. So either it could be Loki's handing the Tesseract to the Black Order, or is he handing it over to Thanos? Regardless, every single scene we see the Black Order with is in the same space or in the same room as the Infinity Stones.
I do like that sort of idea. I do like that the Black Order is going to be doing Thanos' dirty work, because I feel that not a lot of the Avengers are equipped to take on Thanos, especially with his immense power. So I feel that the only way that to make it fair for the Avengers is to have the Order attack them one by one, so Thanos doesn't get those opportunities to kill them.
I feel that's the fact.
Because I feel like people would get kind of confused on why more Avengers are not dying if you see someone like, I don't know, Vision and Black Widow fighting together against Thanos, and then you don't expect a Black Widow to die, because it just feels like that would be a little bit weird to see if some minor character, unpowered character would die.
And again, we see that in Age of Ultron, actually, because Ultron can easily kill Black Widow, but he chose not to. He chose to keep her hostage. So at the same time, maybe Thanos will do that just to play mind tricks with either Captain America / Steve Rogers or Tony Stark, because he does have a connection with Black Widow. So I feel like maybe any of those powerless characters are going to come into a big role, as to what Frankie was saying, as to maybe they're going to be held hostage, and maybe they're going to have to get into a rescue situation that could end up in a very bad way. For example, let's say Captain America decides to rescue Natasha, or Black Widow, and dies in the process of saving her. And the valuable information that they get is what they rely on to Tony and whatnot, and that could be the case with the big role over there.
I think that would be really cool to see Black Widow getting captured, or attempted to be captured by Thanos. And you see the Incredible Hulk himself, Mark Ruffalo. Unleash his rage.
God.
I think
who doesn't like a good rage scene?
Everybody likes a good rage scene. No matter what type of series or what you're watching, everybody likes a good rage scene. And personally, I like the Hulk. Don't get me wrong, Ragnarok was an amazing movie. Talking about how Hulk was able to use more extensive vocabulary than he's used to besides Hulk smash. But I'd like to see for at least about a good 10 minutes, Hulk go back to his prehistoric ways where he just batters someone.
Yeah,
I agree. I completely agree.
He doesn't use the mind, you know what I mean? When he's very angry and upset, you know what I mean? All the anger built up in him, that he doesn't use his mind. He doesn't even know how to use words at the point. You know what I mean? That's what we're kind of looking. That's what we're kind of looking for when Hulk is gonna be facing Thanos. That's what I'm kind of looking for.
Yeah, that's.
I think we're closing up on time here, actually, so we're gonna wrap this up. Thank you to everyone who watches. We hope you enjoy. Our schedule isn't completely official, but we hope to upload every Saturday. Please leave your comments and thoughts down below, and we could respond with anything and any questions and whatnot. We hope you come back for the next time we have a podcast, and that's it. Thanks, guys.
Take care.
And just as a last note, everybody, go watch Avengers Infinity War. Amazing movie.
Comes out April 27th.
Coming out.
All our thoughts and answers are there. So go watch it. Thanks,
if
everyone.
you're there, if you guys are there, we're probably going to be there, so.
Okay.
Peace. Have a nice night.
This was Northern Discussions, signing off.
Bye.